I now look on to Andre Johnson to continue the case for the proposition.
Thank you, Mr. President, and good evening, Oxford Union. You can do better than that. Good evening, Oxford Union. I don't know how I can top Jasmine, but I'm going to say this. I come into this debate not just as someone who has spent the last 8 years documenting gangs of London. I've been to some of the grimiest parts of this country. Public service announcement, don't go to Peckham. I also come into this debate as someone that's documented rappers, musicians, and artists for the last 8 years. This debate is far bigger than whether Stormzy is more relevant than Boris Johnson. This is about culture and whether it's bigger than authority. I think relevance comes into 3 topics. The first one is culture. The quote, F the government and F Boris, is more relevant than it can ever be today. The second part is trust. I mean, the last 2 years, we spent our lives indoors, and I don't think anyone in this room believed anything that the Prime Minister had to say. This is not a speech digging at Boris Johnson. I don't know what it means to be Prime Minister, and I don't know what it will ever mean to be Prime Minister. However, though, what I do know is voice. A recent survey by Business Insider said that 3,000 kids found that being a YouTube star was more sought after than being an astronaut or a politician, with kids in the United States and the United Kingdom. Those results are worth more value than anything else. I come from a place in London, South London, called Brixton. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not really supposed to be here. I don't talk with nice slang. I don't really talk with nice vocabulary. If anything, when I say hello to my friends, I say, "Wagwan, fam," not hello, but I'm here. And individuals like Stormzy has given me the inspiration to know what I want to be. However, by a show of hands, every Wednesday in Parliament, MPs and the Prime Minister sit in for PMQs. Does anybody have a vast understanding of what happened yesterday? Just by a show of hands. Do you know what was said yesterday? Wow, we're in Oxford Union and nobody knows what was said. It's crazy. Now, by a show of hands, does anybody know the last album title by Stormzy? That's it, bye-bye. No, I'm joking. I don't really have too much to say. I believe everybody in this room has aspirations, goals, dreams, but it all comes down to one thing: character. When you look at an individual like Boris Johnson, do you see that as a man of character? And when you look at somebody like Stormzy, who's given to so many people, who's come from a similar background like mine. I'm an African boy. My name is Andre Johnson, but my African name is Bola. And in my culture, you're supposed to be a doctor, a lawyer, a barrister, anything of high value. However, Stormzy opened the eyes to many cultural parents, to many Caribbean parents, to many African parents, that you can pick up a mic and you can be anything you want. You can pick up a camera and you can become a photographer. You don't just have to wear a suit and a tie and a shirt. You can be bigger than that. Relevance does not always equal responsibility. I think both come hand in hand. The opposition, like you said Stormzy has, or you said Boris Johnson has a responsibility, and he can use his responsibility to do what he wants and be where he needs to be, and that makes him relevant. However, if you don't use your responsibility, you lose your relevance. And I feel that Stormzy hasn't necessarily had any responsibility, but he's created it. And through that, he's created his relevance. In 2015, the Mirror done a survey, and the results came in that only 1% of kids want to be politicians. Now, I believe we need politicians in the society. I believe we need politicians that look like me, that look like you, that look like everyone from every race. However, though, a lot of the politicians in this country have no relevance to the things that are going on in society. When I watch something like PMQs or when I watch Boris Johnson speak, I don't feel like he's talking to me. I don't feel like a boy on the block in Brixton smoking weed that's got beef wants to listen to Boris Johnson. But if he sees Stormzy at Glastonbury and he sees Stormzy pick up a mic, or he sees other artists like Stizzy Sticks, the creator of UK Drill, or Digga D, who recently went #1 with his mixtape, or many other artists, drill groups like Zone 2, 410, even 6-7. If you're a young boy from the block like me, those individuals have more of a responsibility, and those individuals have more of relevance to you than Boris Johnson does. Like I said, this is not a dig at any politician. This is not a dig at anybody that has authority. If you have authority, use it. Be the change you're supposed to be. Don't just talk on the mic in front of a camera, whatless. Understand that there's real issues going out here. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have loads of facts and prissy words and a tie, but I have experience. Like I said, I grew up in one of the worst estates in London, Mansfield Estate, aka Baghdad. And I was a soldier in Baghdad. I still am a soldier in Baghdad, but I'm a good soldier. And for that, I believe that this house believes Stormzy is more relevant than Boris Johnson. My name is Mr. Montgomery. I'm out.